Exercise 4B question 4. So we're into an algebra style question, and we've been told that the expansion of this 1 over the square root of a plus bx is the 3 plus a third x plus an 18th x squared. So find the values of a and b. Well, the first thing to do is, there's a binomial expansion, let's do it. You know, it's got letters, but we can still cope. So square root of a 1 over the square root of a plus bx. First things first, write it in index form. So I've got minus a half. Then we'll do our normal check. Now we're going to assume a is not a 1 for the purposes of this. Probably isn't. So I'm going to factorize the a out to leave 1 plus b over a x to the, oh, lost a minus a half. Well done to anyone who spotted that. Okay, so I've got that and it's ready to expand. Everywhere I see x, I'm going to put b over ax, and n is minus a half. And this is a reasonably nice problem-solving exam style question. So we've got a to the minus a half, and I only have up to x squared there, but looking ahead, there is an x cubed question, so I think it's probably worth writing down the x cubed. So I've got 1 plus n x plus n minus 1 over 2 factorial, or just 2 b over a, oh, lost my x, squared, plus n minus 1, n minus 2 over 3 factorial, which is 6 b over a x cubed. Okay, so I am just going to multiply that out, and then underneath I will write what it is, and then it should just be a simple matter of comparing. So I've got a to the minus a half plus. Now, if we multiply this out, I've definitely got a minus. I've definitely got a b on the top and a 2 on the bottom. Now, I had an a on the bottom. I'm going to times that by a to the minus a half, which is 1 over a to the half, and then you add your powers, so that's a to the, oh, there's my pen gone. Just give my computer a second. So what, you know, to just think about this one, you've got a to the 1 times a to the half, because that a to the half is on the bottom. So I am looking at a to the 3 over 2. Okay. So a to the 3 over 2, adding my powers. You could leave that with, you know, the a to the minus a half on the top, but it is much nicer to simplify your question. Plus, okay, now if we work this little lot out, there's this bit here is 3/8. I did it in my calculator. So I've definitely got a 3 on the top and 8 on the bottom. I've definitely got a b squared on the top. Now on the bottom I had an a squared, but I'm timing, of course, that by a to the half. Okay, so what I'm actually doing in my head is I'm calling that 1 over a to the half, because then when I'm multiplying it together, it's simply a matter of adding the powers. So that's a to the 5 over 2. Okay, and then on this last one, I've got a minus. That whole lot of brackets is 5 over 16. Make life a bit more fun. I've then got a b cubed on the top, and on the bottom I've got an a cubed, but I need to add another half to that, 3. So that's 3.5, which is 7 over 2 x cubed. I do seem to have lost an x squared in there. Okay, so now let's write directly underneath it what that is. So I have got 3, okay, plus a third x according to the expansion, plus an 18th squared, and this is what we'll need to work out for part B. Okay, so let's line up, pair up. Those two line up, they're in the same position, they are both a constant. So a to the minus a half equals 3. Now, if you're stuck, of course, in an exam, you could always use shift solve, but let's solve it algebraically because it's good practice. That's 1 over the square root of a equals 3. Times that square root of a up and swap it with the 3, I get the square root of a equals a third. Square that, you get a equals a ninth. Check it in shift solve, put it back into the question and check you get a 3. But when you're solving with negative powers, I always get rid of them and write them in their natural form. So that would be 1 over in this case. Okay, so I then have minus b over a to the, sorry, scroll back up, 2a to the 3 over 2. 2a to the 3 over 2. And we are told that that equals a third. That's what that one lines up with. This whole chunk here must line up here. Okay, now we've got a minus, so we're going to have to be careful with that because it needs to be a plus a third. So let me double check. Have I taken the minus? Yes, I have to my answer. So that gives us minus b is equal to 2/3 a to the 3 over 2. Swap back to colour. So minus b equals 2/3, 1/9 to the 3 over 2, which happens to be 2 over 81. So bring the minus across. B equals minus 2 over 81. Now, I'm not going to do it here just for space, but of course at this point, if I wanted to know if I was right, I would take my two answers here and here, and I would be putting them into here. And if I didn't get 1 over 18, at which point I'd be thinking, well, I need to check this question. Whether you would do that now or later in an exam style situation, that depends on the time. But it would certainly tell you if you were right or wrong at that point. That's why they've given you the 1 over 18x squared to check. Okay, so I now need to work out the x cubed term. So I've already got up here that it's 5b cubed over 16a to the 7 over 2. So I've got 5b cubed over a to the 7 over 2 is my coefficient. Did it have a plus? No, it has a minus. So that is minus 5 lots of, sorry, ignore the extra lines, I think I lent on my mouse pad. 5 lots of b was minus 2 over 81 cubed over 16 lots of a ninth to the 7 over 2. And if you stick that whole lot in your calculator, you should get 5 over 486, which is the answer you're looking for. So it is a tricky little question, this one, but again, you've got an expansion, just go for it with the algebra and then compare. It's not being afraid of the algebra. Algebra is your friend in these kind of questions and it will help.